Does anybody know what that is? Has anybody ever seen that before? Let me show you something. Now I'm going to start on some of this stuff. In the 1980s, Sandra, you ought to remember what that is. You'll remember it after I see it. It used to be on every product made by this company, Procter & Gamble. Let me point out some details of that. First of all, it's a crescent moon with a man in the moon. 13 stars, all of them are 5-pointed stars. If you look at the top and the bottom of the face, those are horns. Okay? Now, for us to casually look at that, really doesn't have a whole lot of meaning to it. And the dispute over that for years is that it really didn't mean nothing to them and all this stuff. There's some kind of big history. But let me show you what happens on the next slide when you invert that thing. If you look down in the right-hand corner, those 3 hairs coming off the beard have been specifically made in that design. Rotate it back, go to the next slide. That is a 2-horned man, and ingrained in it is the 3 numbers 666. Now, go back to the monster thing, and let me show you something on it. You look and see Monster Energy, reminds you of the drink. You see basically 3 claw marks, right? Let me show you something in the Hebrew alphabet. These are the first few letters of the alphabet if you start in the Hebrew alphabet. Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, He, and Vav. Okay? The unique thing about the Hebrew language, for every letter, you also have a number. Okay? Numbering these the way they're numbered, the first 10 letters of the Hebrew alphabet are 1 through 10. Then they go in multiples of 10 after that. So if we were to number these, we got Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, He, and Vav. So if I write Vav, 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 have I drawn anything recognizable? Now, what's the name of the drink? To a lot of people, that means nothing. But to me, I understand. And once you understand something, you get a grip on it, and it starts to make sense. On the back of the can, hey, Lori, go back, Mike, go back there in the office and see me if that can ain't still sitting in there. But, you know, you can say, well, you're looking, you're reaching. No, I can go a little bit further on this, and I will here in a minute. No. I'll read about the company that does this. Anheuser-Busch distributes it. It was amazing. Shane showed me this, and then I got to studying it. And when he showed it to me, somebody had threw this in the back of my pickup truck. I don't drink this stuff. But I thought it pretty interesting. This is laying in the back of my pickup truck, and then Shane comes to me and starts talking about this. Didn't know. I said, we was here on a Wednesday night. I said, go to the back of my truck and get that can. I swear there's one of them in the back of my truck. And sure enough, this was the can that was in the back of my truck. But on the back right here, and I know you can't see it. You want to know what that says right there? Unleash the beast. Now here, I'll just start this over here. Anybody here? Pass this around. You can look at it and see it. Then I ain't pulling your leg. Now, what is the odds that there's a coincidence that they name a drink the Monster, and on the back of the can they write Unleash the Beast? Those are particular. See the design of how that mark is made with the left? That is an intentional put in there because it's a Vav, which in Hebraic numerology is simply, if you add those together, it's 666. Then they name the drink Monster and write on the back of the can, Unleash the Beast. What does a beast have to be unleashed? Well, I mean, with any of that. Unless there is something intentional. Now, for most people, that probably doesn't mean a whole lot. But number one, people who believe that and want that, it means something to them. Just like when you looked at the Harley-Davidson symbol, it meant something to you. When you looked at the Walmart symbol, it meant something to you. It had something connected to your life. It made you take a moment. Now let's think about this. When you saw the Walmart symbol pop up there, did you not have to take a moment and think about your experience with Walmart? Did it not force you to do that? Same way with Rolex. If you all's just like me, when you saw that, your first thought is, I'll never have one of those. I might have a Rolex, but I won't have a Rolex, you know. So it's specific because the intention of it is to mean something to you. There's a group of people out here that means something to. More so, not only does it mean something, it's a way of indoctrinating or teaching people. Now let me show you something a little bit further. Look at the O. Let me ask you this. Who ever draws an O like that? Yeah. Sword down through it, cross down through it, whatever. Who draws an O like that? Anybody? You don't draw an O like that. It doesn't look like any of the rest of those letters or whatever. There's something specific about its drawing. Well, actually, if you look closely enough to it, you will see it's basically drawn like this. Then they put a Vav down through it. Okay? And then they just cap it off so they make sure that there's an O. There. The Vav, the meaning of the Vav, Paleo Hebrew will give you a Vav in two ways. Number one way they do it's a nail. Because it looks a little bit like a nail. Okay? That's not really the best one. The best one in the Paleo Hebrew, when it was originally the thing, is this. What does that look like? There you go. That's exactly and that's what they call it, the hook. Now, let's think of this for a moment. This is a Vav coming down through this thing here, and we call it a hook. Do you see it anywhere? Look third row down, second column. Do you see it? Now, flip back to the monster picture and then come back to this one. There it is. Now go back to that picture. Now I'll tell you what that is. Do you know what that is? It's the sign of the serpent. Now, watch this. Hook by the serpent. Caught by the dragon. Caught by the serpent. You're hooked by the serpent. One of the most addicting things in the United States right now, and it's affecting teenagers more than anybody, is energy drinks. And they have one purpose, to hook you on them. Isn't it interesting that they stick a hook about the serpent in a can that's marked with the number of the beast, and on the back of the can they tell you release the beast and they name it the monster. Now, let me read you a little bit about the company. Monster's made by the company called the Hansen Natural Corporation. Okay? They manufacture natural soft drinks, energy drinks, fruit drinks, including the Monster Energy. Some of their other brands is Hansen's Natural Soda, Hansen's Energy, Hansen's Junior Juice, Peace Tea, and Blue Sky. The reason they got Blue Sky is because they bought it, but here it is. Hansen Natural Sodas has been a leading natural soda brand in Southern California for the past 30 years. In the 1930s, Hubert Hansen and his three sons began selling fresh, non-pasteurized juices to film studios and retailers in Southern California under the Hansen's name. In the 1970s, Tim Hansen, the grandson of Hubert, developed marketed a variety of natural sodas, pasteurized, self-stable, 100% juices under their label. Hollywood film studios provided them as their first clients. The company later on became Hansen Juices, later known as the Fresh Juice Company of California. The plant had opened in Los Angeles in 1946, was used and still in operations, but moved to a new plant in Azusa, California in 1993. The company filed for bankruptcy in 1988 and was acquired by the California Company Packers Corporation. The company did business under the Hansen Beverage name, But in 1988 or 1998, they moved from Anaheim, California to Corona, California.